It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Glen Affric Brewery, and it's a collaboration with Black Lodge Brewing Company just across the river there in Birkenhead in Liverpool. It's a 7.2% ABV New England IPA called Over the Water. Without further ado, this is coming in 33 IBUs and 7.2% ABV. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. So beer in the glass then, we got a 2-finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, lovely sediment here in this can. Hazy, I would say amber colour. If I'm being perfectly honest, looking at this beer, I think I would like it to be looking a little bit lighter in terms of colour. For a New England IPA, I think it's looking too much like an amber pale ale for me. It should be quite a lot lighter, but let's see what it's like. 2-finger whitehead, let's get the aroma. Smells nice and hoppy, mind. Hoppy, spicy, peppery. Great head on it. Great head retention. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh wow. Ooh. Lots of flavour. Lots of flavour coming through, and quite a big bitterness on the back end as well. Oh, papaya, passion fruit, mango, citrus, grapefruit. Loads of flavour in the middle. A little bit of sweetness as well from the malt they've added to the beer. I found that with Glen Affric's beers, there's an initial hit of sweetness that comes through, and then there's this kind of just flavour in the middle. And yeah, there's quite a lot of bitterness for a New England IPA. New England IPAs usually, they're looking to drop that bitterness. They're looking to remove the bitterness and have all of that kind of hop flavour in the middle, but not this one. This is a little bit different. I would say this is drinking more like a double IPA. I think maybe they should rename this. If this is the actual recipe they're going to go with this beer, maybe call this a double IPA. I think just because of the amount of bitterness that's piling through on the back end. But it's got a lovely kind of smoothness to it. I'm pretty sure, I've not read the back of the can yet, but I'm pretty sure they've added oats to the beer, that kind of creamy, oaty. Do you know when you kind of have a pan? My wife has oats every morning before she goes to work. And she leaves the pan in the sink for me to clean. Thanks, Mel. And you always get that kind of creamy residue that's left in the pan. That's creamy and residue like that's gone into the beer when they brewed the beer, and it's given off. It's why the beer's got a lovely kind of creamy depth to it, is the amount of oats they've added to the beer. It's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice. But I'd say, yeah, double IPA. Look at the carbonation. Look at that beautiful carbonation. Let's rock the beer back and forth. Carbonation chasing the head of the beer up the glass. Really good stuff. Nice balance between that sweetness and the bitterness on the back end. Lots of kind of orange peel, fleshy blood orange, papaya, passion fruit, mango, citrus, grapefruit flavours in the middle, tangerine. Yeah, it's a nice beer, but I'm gonna class it personally as a double IPA. We've partnered with our pals across the river at Black Lodge Brewing to brew this, to bring you this beast of a New England IPA. Hopped with Equinox, Mosaic and Chinook. Expect wave after wave of tropical citrus flavour. There we are. Right, Glen Affric Brewery, Over the Water, New England IPA. Rating, I'm going to give it 2 ratings. I think it's only fair to give it 2 ratings because the beer is actually, I love bitter double IPAs, so this is right up my street. But I know what a New England IPA should be tasting like. So I'm going to give a rating for it as a New England IPA. Then I'm going to give it a second rating as a double IPA. I think that's only fair to the brewery. New England IPA, it's too dark. For me, it's too dark for a New England IPA. Too much kind of like, it looks amber, hazy amber coloured beer. Great conditioning, great look. There's nothing wrong with the beer. This is what I want to kind of stress. There's no off flavours, it's just too dark for a New England IPA, and there's way too much bitterness. There's way too much bitterness for this to be a New England IPA in my kind of sense. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. But wait for it. If this was rebranded with this recipe, if you called this a double IPA, maybe raise the ABV, put a little bit more malt in, got it up to 8% ABV, called it a double IPA. There's a lot of work here. There's a lot of plus points in this beer. If this was rebranded as a double IPA, I would say nice about a little bit of sweetness to begin with, lovely bitterness on the back end, loads and loads of tropical flavours in the middle, good colour. As a double IPA, that would be a very, very solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. So hopefully a little bit of constructive criticism coming from me to Glen Affric Brewery. Yeah, hopefully, I mean, they can either tell me to bugger off or take my view on board. It's up to them. But yeah, 8 out of 10 as a double IPA. 5 out of 10 as a New England IPA. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the review. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.